Abby, welcome back to my channel. So I've been trying to film this video for a while now, but I guess every time that I would be inspired to film it, I would always be like, JK. So if you haven't already seen the video talking about what basically I am describing, then it should be linked, I think right here. I watched that first, that way you kind of have a good background. But basically today I'm going to be talking about trauma and how you can open up about trauma to people. When I filmed my video about sexual abuse, I was very, very nervous. And when I did though, I got a lot of responses that were just absolutely amazing. People that were opening up to me that maybe I hadn't spoken to in a very long time, or just like I had, but I didn't know this side of them, and they just opened up to me and were like, hey, I went through the same thing. I know what you're feeling, and like, I'm sorry. And I was like, wait, no, like you don't have to apologize. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what? I kind of wanted to just talk about opening up about it and I guess how to do that, because some people even told me that they've never told anybody before, and I'm not trying, like, this is completely up to you, but I think that sometimes people wonder what it would be like to open up about it, because I definitely wondered that with people before I actually did. First thing I would say is be very careful in who you choose to trust. I definitely trusted, I think, way too many people with this piece of information before I was actually ready. I feel like sometimes I would be wanting to tell somebody, and it wouldn't be the right person to tell, you know, and I would kind of regret it afterwards. Don't feel the need to tell everybody, because it is your story and you get to choose who you want to tell a story to and who you're trusting with that information. And this is for any kind of trauma. You don't owe anybody an explanation. I just felt like if they knew what had happened to me, then they would know why I am the way I am. But the truth is, it shouldn't matter what happened to me. I should be accepted regardless. Some people will not care. Other people will pity you. I didn't want people to pity me, and I had people being like, I feel sorry for you. You don't need to feel sorry for me. You don't, because what I went through has made me stronger, has made me the person that I am today. And same for you. What you have been through, it may have been really hard. It may still be very hard. But I truly believe that the Lord uses these circumstances to bring something better out of them. If I had not been through what I have been through, people that have been through that same thing would not be able to open up as easily to me as they have, because they know that they can trust someone who's been through the same thing. I would always get very annoyed when people would be like, well, like, have you tried doing this? Because it's like, do you actually know what I'm feeling? When you have someone that's been through the same thing, it makes you, or at least me, it made me more receptive to what they were trying to tell me. The main question, or the main thing that people say, is that they don't tell people because what if they don't believe them? And that is one of the main things that you always hear surrounding sexual abuse. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that that's not gonna happen, because it happened to me, my own family. There are people in my family, not my immediate family, obviously, because they are amazing. My sisters, my mom, my dad have been always very supportive of me, but I'm talking about my more extended family. There are people that chose sides. There are people that decided not to believe me and decided to believe the person that sexually abused me, okay? Or decided to ignore the fact that I had openly stated this. And they have kind of been like, well, how can you believe her? It is very sad to think that someone might assume that a 4 or 5-year-old kid would lie about such a thing, or even in general that anybody would lie about that. But what I can tell you about that is it shows you who your true family is. And that sounds very harsh, but it shows you who your true friends and who your true family is. It shows you the people that you can really count on, the people that are actually going to be there for you, and the people that you might have been wrong about. With that being said, those are my 3 points before actually getting to what I'm, to, I guess, the how of it. Like I said, 1, be careful with who you tell, to make sure that you're ready. Make sure it's the right time for you. And 3, be prepared, because not everybody's gonna accept it. It's a very hard thing to comprehend when you tell somebody that their child or their friend or their relative has hurt you. Now, when you actually go to tell them, I would say just speak from the heart. It's gonna be hard. It's going to hurt. It's gonna bring up memories, but it's also gonna bring about healing. The more that I opened up to people, the more I felt a sense of relief. There's so many different types of trauma, and it's so sad that one thing can completely change the way your brain functions. I mean, and when I say that, I mean literally, like your mind changes. I learned in a class that when a traumatic event happens, there is a physical change in your brain. Your mind is now going to do everything in its power to forbid that from happening ever again. And that just blew my mind, because there is a physical change that happens in your mind when you experience trauma. And that physical change is your own body trying to devise a better defense mechanism for itself. Like, there is an actual shift. It is something that you have to deal with. You have to find a way to cope, and it will take a while. You do not have to rush yourself. I mean, I'm 22 years old, and this happened when I was 4. Like, obviously, there is just a lot of healing that needs to take place with whatever trauma you experience. And I think that there's also a need to come to terms with the fact that you are a different person because of it. And it's okay. And so when you open up to someone about that, you're letting them see that side of you and share in that vulnerability, which I think is so beautiful. And it's not easy, but as you do it more, you won't feel as scared. When you experience trauma, whatever it may be, a person's decision has affected you, and they have taken control of a situation. If it becomes something that you want to hide at all times and make sure no one ever finds that out, you're letting that person have a piece of you for the rest of that time that you decide to hide this. But if you finally open up, it's like you're allowing yourself so much freedom. And I'm telling you that from experience. When I openly told you guys what had happened to me, I physically felt a weight lifted off my shoulders. I do not know how else to express that. I felt like I could see things differently, and it's because you're so blinded by just hurt and pain and just, I have to hide this. And when you let that go, you take back control of that and you say, you know what, this is my story. And it is up to you to decide how you want to let that story be known. And at one point or another, you won't care how people will react, because at least you're telling your story. And someone out there will find it helpful. I can honestly tell you, you will come out stronger, okay? And you do not have to worry about what anybody else will think. It is your story. So I just hope that this encourages you guys. I just kind of needed to get that off my chest. I love you guys, and I promise the next few videos will be a lot more fun than this, a lot less serious. So yeah, bye.